Hey guys, it's Paul from paulniger.com. I want to intro my blog topic for this week. And this week's topic is about sex. How exciting, right? So, everyone talks about sex and we have different things to say about it. And usually when we think about sex, we think about the act itself. But there's not that much value in the act itself because we are emotional beings. And what am I saying is, well, if you look at sex, unless it's done with a certain order, it's just going to be mechanical. So anything with mechanics is not really an emotional thing. So what's more valuable than sex itself is the foreplay, and we've all heard of that. You know, the importance that foreplay brings is that it creates an emotional connection with your partner. So when you create that connection, the sex on its own, it's just it's just more physical, but when you create that connection, you actually are able to transform the relationship and the experience, so it's got more impact. So when you go into and you're having the sex with your partner, you actually start to dissolve into your partner, and so this is where two become one. It becomes a union. It becomes more of a sacred and a blissful act. Next is a lot of people think, okay, well, we're done. Let's just jump out of bed, and I got things to do. I gotta take the kids to do this and that. I gotta go to work. That's the wrong thing to do, because the foreplay and the sex itself is actually leading to something even greater, known as the afterplay, which is more valuable. Now, if you think about a yoga class, the most important part of yoga is not the sequences, not the poses or the asanas that you do. It's the shavasana. So if you were to get rid of anything in the yoga class, it would be all the sequences, because they don't really matter. They all lead up to the shavasana. They're a build-up. It's no different for sex and the afterplay. So the afterplay, the value in that is that that's the time where you can marinate in the space that you have just created, the energy that you have just created. So when two became one, now it's a different experience. Now this is your time for your spiritual awakening, a huge shift in consciousness. So if you look at the foreplay, that's when you start to connect emotionally. There's an emotional shift with your partner. The sex act itself is a physical shift. When you dissolve, you become formless. And then the afterplay is actually when you are totally different. You have a whole new form, and that's your spiritual awakening, your spiritual shift. And this is a part that a lot of us neglect, because we have our mindset on doing other things, and our focus is usually just on hitting that climax, and then what? Then we're like, same time next week. You don't want to do that. You want to sit in that time and not let that time go to waste, because otherwise it's like having a good workout, really vigorous workout, and then just eating junk food the rest of the day. It's almost like you wasted that hour in the gym. So just something to be mindful of when you're being intimate with your partner. And the result of this is that you actually create such a blissful relationship with your partner that can't be challenged by anyone else, by any other attractive people, because you won't see people being as attractive, because what you have is so sacred. It's such a strong bond that cannot be replaced by just any other person walking by. Anyways, just a quick blog topic intro. Check out my full blog on my website at paulniger.com. Last name is spelled Nijar. See ya.